YouTube is LMERicoTv, man. I'm back with another video, man. Y'all see what we got going on. We got Innocence, Chiraq rapper PGF Nuk taken down by FEDS after 2 carjackings in 30 minutes. So you already know what time it is, man. Brand new to the channel, or you've been watching videos on the channel but not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button right now. As y'all see, I'm on the grind to 7K, and hopefully I hit that very soon. Also, don't forget to smash that like button, and also don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys get notified when I drop new videos. With that said, let me go ahead and start my screen record. That's starting. We starting this vid now.
Man, what's up, everybody? It's 1090J. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on PGF Nuk being indicted by the feds in Chicago for 2 back-to-back carjackings that took place in less than 30 minutes. PGF Nuk, one of Chicago's rising drillers, may have just ended his own career. The man behind the mask, identified as 22-year-old Virgil Gibson, has now been officially indicted by the...
And y'all can pause this and read everything word for word. I'm gonna just pause it for a couple of seconds to read it myself, but that's it. Y'all can pause it, but I'm gonna start back the video now.
Feds. It's been 2 years since Nuk dropped his hit song, gaining over 100 million views and instant stardom in his city. With a cosign from Lil Durk to being brought on stage by Polo G, Nuk seemed like he could possibly be next up from the rack, but a series of arrests, along with his views going down, would seemingly lead the rapper to crashing out.
And with that cosign from Lil Durk and the feature from Polo G and performing with Polo G, man, I felt like he definitely was on his way up and pretty much was gonna have a decent rap career run for real, but I wasn't expecting it to end this fast and in this way, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, he made his choices, and this is where it's at right now. So it's just crazy to see he had that song going crazy to now he pretty much locked up for some crazy shit. But other than that, let's get back to the vid.
Back in August of 2023, Nuk was arrested after a Glock with a switch was found on the floorboard of the car he was driving.
That's the rapper PGV people right here.
That man name hard. That's crazy.
According to a Chicago News article, police stopped the vehicle because the plate on the car had been flagged for impound after previously eluding police, meaning Nuk was caught riding in a getaway vehicle. According to the news report, the person riding passenger with Nuk told police it was Nuk's gun, and Nuk told the police it belonged to the passenger. Obviously, the gun belonged to one of them, but neither one...
And that ain't helped their case at all. Y'all already know if 12 pull you over, you get caught with a gun and it's not registered or whatever the case may be, especially if it's got a switch, and none of y'all trying to take ownership of that, at that point, they taking everybody to jail. They don't care who it belongs to, but somebody is gonna have to take ownership of that gun. It's just that simple. But other than that, let's get back to the vid.
One of them wanted to take the charge, and according to the article, they told on each other to police. Nuk would be arrested, later freed on pretrial release, and 8 months later, arrested for double carjacking plus kidnapping. On April 7, 2024, federal prosecutors alleged Nuk carjacked 2 people within 30 minutes. The first attack was on the south side of Chicago at a gas station in the 5900 block of South Morgan Street in Inglewood. It's alleged that Nuk, armed with a handgun, took a 32-year-old man's Chevy Malibu at gunpoint. 30 minutes later, Nuk arrived at a gas station in the 8300 block of South Cottage Grove, driving the man's Chevy Malibu. Nuk allegedly got out of the stolen car, opened the door to another man's Kia Optima, and forced him into the passenger seat at gunpoint. The 35-year-old victim was forced to transfer money from his bank account, remove some of his clothes, and then get out of the car. Covert Chicago police later spotted the hijacked Kia in the 1600 block of West 55th Street, while PGF Nuk was found hiding in the...
Plus, he knew that car was hot, but at the end of the day, he also didn't even change his clothes. And y'all already know, at these gas stations or public businesses in general, there's just been a lot of crazy stuff going on. Robberies, people getting unalived, working. And I done had seen like a few cases out where I'm staying at right now in Arizona, and people was getting unalived at gas stations or getting in altercations, et cetera, et cetera. So that said, they not playing with the surveillance around these businesses no more. It's too much going on, and people was just out here going crazy for real. So with that said, man, let's get back to the vid.
Janitor's closet of a nearby phone store. He'd be found wearing the same clothes as the hijacker that would later be seen on surveillance video. Nuk would be charged with 2 counts of vehicular hijacking with a firearm, armed aggravated kidnapping, and aggravated unlawful restraint. But the biggest blow would be when the feds announced the indictment. On Tuesday, July 16th, a federal grand jury indicted Nuk on 2 counts of carjacking, 3 counts of brandishing a firearm during a crime of violence, and 1 count of robbery and kidnapping. The charges in the indictment carry a maximum sentence of life in federal prison. As everyone pretty much knows, when the feds become involved, it isn't a matter of if you're going to prison, but how long you're going for. Let's not forget that at the time of the broad day carjackings, Nuk was still on pre-trial release for his state gun case when he was caught with a switch. At this time, he hasn't been federally charged with the switch, even though his charges would appear to state 3 counts of violent crime / drugs / machine guns. Within the indictment, it clarifies he has 3 counts of brandishing the weapon during a crime of violence. PGF Nuk is currently being held in the Cook County Jail within the infamous Division 9. This would be home to the max custody inmates with the most violent cases in Chicago. Nuk's Instagram would be flooded with comments about him being a crash dummy and ruining whatever was left of his career. It's hard to imagine this playing out in any way other than bad, as the amount of evidence is overwhelming. Not only were the crimes captured on video, he was arrested wearing the same clothes as the person committing the crimes on video. He was arrested nearby one of the stolen vehicles, and he had one of the victims wire him money to an account, possibly his own account, because if he's desperate enough to carjack in broad daylight, he might be dumb enough to send money to himself. Federal documents would state Nuk does have a lawyer, but what's the fucking point with all the shit that's against you?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, whatever type of deal they give him, he gonna have to take it. If he try to deny those charges and say he not guilty, you might as well say he gone forever at that point, because after that, y'all already know what's gonna happen if he pretty much still get charged and found guilty of those charges after pleading not guilty. So with that said, whatever deal they give him, he gonna have to ultimately take it and go from there. But other than that, let's get back to the vid.
All she's doing is overseeing the plea deal he's about to take, because trial would end with a life sentence, and Nuk really has nothing to bargain with, meaning whatever the feds offer him is most likely what he's gonna have to take. At 22 years young, it's likely Nuk won't be seen again until he's well into his 30s.
Crazy.
It's highly unlikely he'll be let out on pre-trial release, knowing he's still pending a gun case in the state's courts. See, this is the hardest part of living the lifestyle. Nuk quickly became the biggest name in his circle. Money started coming in, shows were getting booked, interviews were being done. Nuk saw the rise, but he couldn't predict the
Lemonade. Changing insurance, starting with everything.
fall. I mean, he had so many switches in his first video that they weren't even as impressive in the next 20 songs. He was left in the shadow of his only hit, his fan base would slowly turn, and now he's left to see who around him was actually rocking with him. Nuk can be seen with his mom, who's clearly an OG GD or an OG gangster disciple. The son of a gangster, Nuk would describe in an interview how his own mom shot back at his ops after his house was shot up.
It was a point where my mama had to shoot, you feel me? Like, I want that type shit. I never been.
And that's crazy right there. Ain't no way his OG should be in a situation like that. So people pretty much know where you laying your head at, X, Y, and Z now, and possibly watching your every move. So With that said, man, he definitely should have been just focused on trying to get his OG out the way, including himself, obviously, and focus on his music and his bag for real, because staying in these environments like that, he had a lot to lose. So him getting these next charges pretty much ain't doing him no favors now. So you already pretty much was starting to lose the fame you have for your music. Pretty much your fans is not really rocking with you as they was when your first hit came out. And now that you getting locked up, that's pretty much slowing down any type of things you was trying to do with your music for real. So if you ain't consistent, it's not gonna be that hard for you to fall off, and people just start ultimately looking at other artists and listening to other artists and stuff that's pretty much doing the same thing as you doing. So with that said, man, he definitely fighting a tough battle for real. Not only with going to prison, but having a career now for real in music. So whatever room he had when he got in the door is just pretty much gone now. He had Lil Durk co-sign and a feature from Polo G and performing with Polo G. So he had the chance to really capitalize for real, but whatever happened, it just didn't work out that way, and here we are now. So I can see why this pretty much led up to him crashing out the way he did. And I don't know everything that's going on as far as behind the scenes, because I ain't really been paying attention to him and his peoples like that for real ever since pretty much his the What Up song. So with that said, man, let's get back to the vid.
At the crib, but they'll come to my crib, try to shoot the house up. Tell them I'm gonna have to start shooting, like, that's to defend her crib type shit. Like, that's type of shit that made me go harder in the streets.
Some could say Nuk was doomed from the start, being raised into the gang-banging world of Chicago, while others could say he had a head start in the streets. Being that he's young and hasn't been to prison, his next move will have to be his best. One of the biggest mistakes for first-time or younger inmates is to not accept a plea deal. While it sounds easy, actually living through the experience of signing your name on a piece of paper, knowing you're signing away years of your life to be spent in prison, it's easier said than done. But not signing results in trial and a harsher punishment. Meaning Nuk could be offered 10 years, deny it, be found guilty at trial, and sentenced to life because in his mind, he hoped his lawyer could find him a way home. With over 90% of federal cases ending in a plea deal, it can be expected within the next 6 to 12 months, Nuk will sign his fate and the case will end. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Now I'm not gonna lie, when What Up dropped, that was my shit. I'm playing it constantly. And in my humble opinion, he never dropped another song that competed with that. So it's like I said, it seemed his career was kind of riding on that one song, and it's such a drill song, it didn't really
pretty much not a
go
song that was
mainstream, you know what I mean? It was in the clubs and all that, but
to pretty much
somebody play that in the club and then there's a shootout outside, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not something they could really push like that. And unfortunately, when you have people that's in the streets or come from the streets, like, I feel like one of the hardest things wouldn't be being broke, it would be getting a glimpse of a better life and then having it snatched. Whether you made X amount of money and went back broke, whether you moved out the hood but had to move back, he was really traveling around, going out here, going out there, doing shows. He hit Miami, he hit LA, most likely hit New York. He's making his moves. He's thinking he's gonna be the next big rapper out of Chicago, and it just, over the next 2 years, didn't work out. Back in Chicago, getting caught up in the bullshit. For him to crash out on a solo mission, they're not saying they were looking for any co-defendant or nothing. This is something that he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go do.
And then on top of that, the whole situation with his gun charge, they started blaming each other. So at that point, I feel like that also led to him crashing out the way he did, because now he looking at it like, damn, I can't trust my own people around me because shit, that situation turned out the way it did. So he probably not trusting nobody. And if he did allegedly get robbed by his own people too, I could see how that played a role too in him crashing out. But it's not an excuse at the end of the day. He should have never did those things that he did, period. He should have been just focused on his music and trying to get to the bag and out the way and avoid stuff like this. So with that said, man, you definitely gotta watch people around you, man, especially if you got something going for yourself, because everybody ain't around you genuinely just because they rock with you for real. Some people around just for the financial benefits or whatever benefits they think they could get from you being around you. So definitely gotta watch those type of people, man, because those ain't really your friends for real. So with that said, man, this is crazy for real. Let's get back to the vid, and the vid is almost over.
This, you know what I mean? Like, there was alleged he got robbed by his own friends, whatever, how that goes. I guess people were turning on him. He got desperate and broad day allegedly decided to carjack 2 different fucking people. I don't even know why he took the first one just to drive to the other gas station to take another one. And then, hey, bitch, what up? Cash at me the money. What the fuck?
Pretty much
it was
desperate. I thought.
Just such a careless
Didn't
move.
care about the consequences, nothing.
And you can look at it like he threw away his career. You can look at it like his career already died. And a lot of people, when they get desperate, when they can't handle the responsibilities and the pressure of society, they act on impulse, they do something dumb, and they find themselves in a system where now they have to wait and see how many years they're gonna be kept from society. This is something I've seen a lot. There's a lot of people that are locked up that are scared to go home because they know about the pressure, the responsibility. It's easier for a motherfucker to wake up in jail or in prison.
Yeah, especially in today's economy, y'all see how the prices of everything went up. So not only would it be hard for him to recover because the music shit obviously didn't work out the way it did, like he expected it to in the beginning. But now if you try to come home and try to get a regular job, it's gonna be hard because all these charges, they not misdemeanors, none of that. They felony charges. So it's gonna be hard for him either way once he get out of jail or whenever he do get out of jail. So it's just, he definitely took a huge L with this situation right here, and this ain't gonna help him with his first case. So that said, it's definitely pretty much over with for him right now. Like he said, he's gonna have to take that plea deal and go from there. But with that said, the video is pretty much about over. I'm gonna play it a little bit more and see what he say, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
Eating the food that they give you and just living off the land and that you get taken care of. So it's like, unfortunately for him being 22 years old, I don't know what type of role models he had. His mother was gang banging. She's with the shit. She's holding up guns and everything else. He might have been doomed from the start, or like I said, if he wants to live that life, he had a head start. But this is the situation that got him in. So for y'all, the viewers, the younger ones, clearly, y'all pay attention to this. You could have a hit song
Definitely
before you know it. You're fighting
Maybe
for
a
your
few,
life.
but not everybody.
And everybody that was there partying with you and spending money with you and popping bottles with you, they're not in the courtroom with you. They're not in them chains with you. They're not in the cell
That's
with
pretty
you.
much the end
But
of the
hey,
video. So with that said though, man, it's just crazy, but it's just looking like it's pretty much over with for him. Like I said, even if he was to get out or whatever the case may be, it's gonna be hard for him to pretty much recover, and on top of that, still do the music thing, because he's gonna have to definitely pretty much drop something that's gonna grab everybody's attention again, for real. But if he was already not doing good in the beginning after he dropped the first song, and every song was pretty much damn near the same and starting to fall off, what can he come back and do in the music for real? Because they already know what he gonna rap about. And it's only so many times you can rap about the same things before people stop rocking with your shit. So with that said, man, that's pretty much the end of the video, man. Y'all comment down below how y'all feel about the whole situation and everything, etc., etc. And also don't forget to smash that like button. And also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, man. As I said earlier, I'm on the ground at 7K, and hopefully I hit that very soon. And also don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys get notified when I drop new vids. With that said, though, man, that's the end of the vid, and I'm gonna catch you guys later on more. So stay tuned. Peace.